Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing with you guys all of my favorite first trimester must-have items because I asked in a couple videos back, I think it was my 10-week pregnancy update, if a first trimester must-haves video would be something you guys would be interested in, and a lot of you said yes, that you actually would be interested in that. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys a lot of the things that I have been doing and using during my first trimester of pregnancy, being pregnant with baby number 2, now that I am on my way out of the first trimester, thank goodness. I am currently 12.5 weeks pregnant, so I will be 13 weeks pregnant this weekend, and there's like a debate about when the first trimester really ends because some people say 13 weeks and some people say 14 weeks, so I'm just gonna play it safe and say that the second trimester begins at 14 weeks, so I have about a week and a half left in the first trimester. So let me go ahead and share with you guys all the things that I have been loving this time around being in my first trimester. So if you've been watching my pregnancy updates, you know that I have unfortunately been experiencing the lovely pregnancy symptom of nausea, and luckily enough I haven't actually like thrown up or gotten sick, but it's starting to like fade off a little bit, but I have been nauseous since about like 5 or 6 weeks. So that's about a month and a half of just constant nausea, and it was the worst, I want to say, from like weeks 8 to 11. Like I said, it's starting to fade off a little bit, which is nice, but during those few weeks I used something that I didn't really use with my first pregnancy with my daughter. I maybe tried it once or twice, but I didn't really need to because I wasn't nauseous that much. But this time around I did use this item, and that was the Preggy Pop Drops, and they look like this, and I picked these up at Target, but you can get these, I want to say you can get them like anywhere. I'm sure you can get them like Walgreens, CVS, you could probably order them on Amazon, and they're basically just supposed to help you feel not nauseous. They're just like little like sucker candies, and they're sour, and these ones came with sour raspberry, green apple, sour lemon, and sour tangerine. As you can see, like I was really partial to the red ones, so there's only like orange and yellow left, and there's like one green one. But during the times when I was super nauseous, I actually did find that these helped me a lot. On the topic of nausea, another thing that I started doing when I would get really queasy, because I would get really queasy like right in the morning when I woke up and I didn't really have an appetite for anything, was saltine crackers. And I would just have like 1 or 2 of these in the morning, or just like pretty much whenever nausea would hit, but it was usually in the morning or in the evening. So I would just have 1 or 2 of these, and it really helped to settle my stomach. There was even some nights like after we were sitting in bed where normally I have like some kind of small sweet treat at night. Usually it's like, you know, a couple of Chips Ahoy cookies or a couple of mini Halloween candies because it's around Halloween time. But there were nights where I just didn't want anything sweet, and actually my sweet tooth has reduced a lot this pregnancy, so I want salty things. But during the times at night where I did feel nauseous, I actually did have a couple of these to snack on at night as well. And I actually did try and get a little bit on the healthier side. Not that these are really that unhealthy anyway, they're just crackers. Whole grain. I got the whole grain ones, which I think they taste even better than the regular ones, so I would definitely recommend something like saltine crackers. Keeping on the topic of nausea, I also started to implement these 2 things, which is, this one is Unisum, and this one is vitamin B6. And I started using these 2 in combination because one of my friends is a nurse and she's also pregnant, and she recommended using these 2 together to help combat nausea, and also the midwife at my doctor's office recommended this combination as well. And I've just heard a lot of really great things about how this can help you not feel nauseous anymore. Now, I swear by the Unisum because I took Unisum almost every single night when I was pregnant with Anastasia because I had troubles falling asleep and staying asleep. So this definitely helps, and it's pregnancy safe, obviously. So you can take it while you're pregnant, and it definitely helps like in the later trimesters when falling asleep becomes uncomfortable and you have like that pregnancy insomnia. And then the vitamin B6 I've never taken before. However, like I said, I got a lot of recommendations for it from several different people who have the authority to give me that kind of advice. So I decided to try it out. I personally don't know if it really did that much for me because by the time that I took both of these together, it was nighttime, and the Unisum kind of just like knocked me out within an hour or 2 of taking them. So I don't really know that it helped me that much. However, I do still take it just because it's just a vitamin and it's pregnancy safe, so it's not gonna hurt to take them. So I've just continued taking it, and I'm probably just gonna finish out the bottle. But if nausea is something you have been experiencing and you haven't tried this combination out, I highly recommend trying this out because there are tons of people that swear by it. Of course, double check with your doctor first because I'm not a doctor or a nurse of any kind. I'm just going off of what my doctor told me and the other recommendations I have heard from other people. This next thing is pretty much a given when you are pregnant or even just trying to get pregnant or even thinking about getting pregnant, and that is a prenatal vitamin. And I have never been someone to spend a ton of money on prenatals. Like, I know there's some really like fancy prenatal vitamins out there, but my doctor pretty much said that like you can spend the extra money on like the fancier brands if you want, but at the end of the day, like a prenatal is a prenatal. As long as you're getting like the main vitamins and nutrients that you need, store brand is just fine as well. So I have the Spring Valley prenatal vitamin, and I got this from Walmart. I don't know if it's exclusive to Walmart or not. It might be in other stores, but I don't know 100%. However, this bottle was only $9, and there are 100 tablets, and I just take one every single morning, and I've never been somebody who has like gotten sick from prenatal, so these work perfectly for me. I know there are some gummy prenatal vitamins that I took with my first pregnancy with my daughter, and I took those all the time. However, I did hear that those aren't as potent as taking just like the actual like capsule like pill versions. So I switched to these, but I know that if you're someone that does get sick from prenatals, it helps to either take prenatal vitamins at night. So by the time you take it, you're already like asleep by the time it like starts going through your system, or to take the gummy prenatal vitamins because they're delicious. So moving on with some more vitamins. These vitamins are something that I take regardless if I'm pregnant or not, just because it helps a lot, and that is probiotics. And these probiotics are from, I don't know why my camera's not focusing, but they're just gummy probiotics. They are the Up and Up brand from Target, and I personally like the gummy probiotics because I've taken the pill ones and they taste kind of funky to me. I can take them, but I prefer to just have these kind. They're just like little gummy bears, and I just take 2 every morning with my prenatal vitamin, and these are to help maintain digestive health. And I am someone that unfortunately has had a lot of issues with like yeast infections and that kind of thing, which is like so frustrating to me because I am just very sensitive to those things for whatever reason. Like, I do everything by the book. I don't sit in sweaty clothes for very long. I only wear cotton underwear. I drink tons of water. All of those kinds of things, like the basic things that you should know about your vaginal health, I do, but I am just someone who has been prone to them for whatever reason. And 2 things that my doctor recommended were, of course, on top of those other things that I just listed, she also recommended that when you are taking a shower, not to use anything else down there except for a mild soap, and even better if you can use like a mild baby soap. So I only use like baby soap when I am taking a shower in that area because it has drastically helped with the improvement of not getting any kind of infections or putting my pH out of balance. And then on top of that, I've noticed that these probiotics help a ton. I haven't had any issues with anything like that since I've been taking these, and I just really feel like they help your body balance out your pH levels and just keep everything at the level it should be and healthy and normal. And another thing I wanted to mention is that if you are a first-time mom or it's your first time being pregnant, your body is more prone to infections, especially yeast infections when you're pregnant. So if you think that's something you might be experiencing, definitely make sure you check with your doctor about that. And like I said, I would highly recommend implementing a probiotic into your daily routine because that can definitely help, and it can help prevent any of those things from happening because they are not fun. The next thing that I'm going to recommend is something really simple and basic, and that is Tylenol. Now, when you're pregnant, you pretty much can't take like hardly anything for like being sick or being in pain. But fortunately, Tylenol is one of those things that is considered safe during pregnancy. I know there are a lot of people that don't take it just because they don't feel comfortable taking any kind of like pain relief type medicine when they're pregnant, and that's okay. However, if you are somebody that is experiencing any type of headaches or just like back pain, anything that you would normally take Tylenol for, you can take Tylenol while you are pregnant if you feel like you need to. So there are a couple times where I would say that I probably use Tylenol maybe once or twice a week, and that is only when I'm having a lot of back pain or if I'm having a really bad headache. And it does help. Since I don't take it very often, I find that it helps a lot. So I definitely recommend getting a bottle of Tylenol. Now we're gonna move on to skincare. The first thing that I have is this Burt's Bees Mama Bee Belly Butter. And this is a lotion that you put on your belly, obviously. However, I feel like stretch marks are something that a lot of people try to avoid. I've never really had like too much trouble with them, but I will say that if you are somebody that is trying to prevent stretch marks, having a really good like body cream or body lotion is very helpful in preventing them. But the other thing that I wanted to say was that I don't have any stretch marks on my stomach from being pregnant with my daughter, but I know there are some women that had like a smaller belly than I did and they have stretch marks everywhere. And I had a really small belly when I was pregnant with my daughter. It never really got that big until like the last week or so, and even then it wasn't super crazy. But I've had some people ask me how I prevent getting stretch marks, and there's 3 parts to it. One is having a really good like skin cream or lotion. 2, you have to make sure that your skin is hydrated from the inside out. So if you're not drinking enough water and staying hydrated, your skin is more likely to get those stretch marks because it's not hydrated enough to stretch, if that makes sense. And that's what leaves the like the scarring on your stomach and your thighs and your hips and everything like that. So staying hydrated is a huge part in preventing stretch marks as well. And the third thing is that stretch marks are unfortunately primarily genetic. So if your family has a history of getting stretch marks, because I've seen people that get stretch marks that aren't even like, they're not big or anything like that, they just get them from growing. And unfortunately, if that is something that is common in your family, you're probably more likely to get them. So I just wanted to go ahead and like give that disclaimer and have you guys keep those things in mind. But like I said, having a really good like skin cream for your belly and doing it early and often can definitely help in preventing and not getting any more. So I love this Burt's Bees one. This is how much I've used out of this whole entire jar. Like, this is completely full. I use this every single day, and I use it sometimes twice a day. There has not been a day that I have missed since the moment I found out I was pregnant, and I just put it all over my belly. I have a C-section scar because I had a C-section with my first daughter, but I start from my C-section scar up until like right under my chest. Sometimes I'll put it on my chest, but this is definitely one of my major must-haves because in my last pregnancy I did the same thing, and like I said, I only had like 2 or 3 stretch marks when I was actually pregnant, but they're completely gone now. So I definitely think this helps, and this is something that I highly recommend. I believe this was $8 or $9 on Amazon. I also recommend going to Lush if you can go to the store or online, because when I was pregnant with my daughter, I used 2 things from Lush. I actually didn't use this, but I'm loving this, so I'm not gonna buy anything else. But I used the Lush, I think it was either cocoa butter or shea butter massage bar, and it basically looks like a soap bar, but you just like rub it on your body and it turns into almost like an oil. And I used that up until, I wanna say like my like halfway through my second trimester, so like halfway through my pregnancy. And then after that, I got the sleepy lotion, and I went through a big tub of that and then a small tub of it, and I put that all over my belly as well, and I loved that. So that is another alternative as well. And the last thing that I'm gonna share with you guys is some facial skincare, because when you are pregnant, this is something that I didn't really think about when I was pregnant with my daughter the first time around, because I just didn't really like have a legit skincare routine anyway. I just used like Clean and Clear and then just like normal face cream, like moisturizer. I didn't have like a toner or anything like that. So it wasn't something that I was really that worried about, but this time around I did want to make sure that I was using pregnancy safe skincare that would also actually help my skin, because I have sensitive skin and I also am like acne prone. I had extremely bad acne when I was a teenager, and I don't have it as bad anymore, but I always have some kind of like blackhead or pimple or clogged pores of some kind. I never have completely clear skin. So finding a really good skincare was important to me, and I actually decided to go with the Target brand. Actually, I don't even know if it's Target brand. You might be able to buy this somewhere else, but I've only seen it at Target, and that is the Pixi skincare line. And I got the cleanser, the toner, and the moisturizer. And this is all the Rose, yeah, it's all the Rose skincare. This is pregnancy safe. There are some things made by Pixi that are not pregnancy safe. I think there's some things that have like hyaluronic acid or glycolic acid or something like that. There's a couple of things that aren't necessarily considered safe during pregnancy and that you want to avoid if possible. So I went with the Rose skincare line from Pixi, and I'm loving it. Oh my goodness, this stuff smells so good and it feels so good on my face. I do think I want to invest in like an exfoliator because this cleanser, even though it's great, it doesn't exfoliate that well, and I feel like I need that. But I'm loving the cleanser, the cream, the moisturizer. It's really thick and moisturizing if you have dry skin. And this stuff, this toner smells amazing, and it gets so much extra stuff off your face. Like, there are times where I literally will take a makeup remover wipe and take all my makeup off, take a shower, wash my face, and this stuff still gets some makeup off afterwards, which is awesome. And it smells amazing, and it just makes your face feel so fresh afterwards. So I've been loving this from Target, and it is a little bit pricier. Like, I'm normally someone that's like, I want to pay like $10 or less for pretty much anything. But I believe for all of this, it was like around 60, because this was like 25, this was 15, and then I think this was like 15 or $20, so around 60, $65. But it is so worth it, and I'm really, really glad that I invested in it. And I also am going to try out their stuff that's like targeted toward acne treatment when I'm done being pregnant and breastfeeding as well. So I highly recommend getting, I mean, even if you don't want to get the Pixie brand, just look into getting pregnancy safe skincare. And to top off the whole skincare thing, I also use this Mario Badescu. I never know how to say that name, but it's the rose water spray as well. And I also spray this on my face after I take a shower, and then I put my moisturizer on. So those are all of my first trimester pregnancy must-haves for my second time being pregnant. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. And don't forget to leave a comment down below if I mentioned something that you guys are currently using and loving during your first trimester of pregnancy, because I would definitely love to hear about that in the comments. And if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.